A jaw-dropping moment in U.S. history, as you mentioned, Alexander, the first former U.S. president to ever have his mugshot taken. We did hear just after he was released from the Fulton County Jail that the picture would be released only tomorrow, but then it was quickly given out to media outlets, and it is now going to be seen, a picture that is around the world, a picture seen around the world, rather, regardless of how you spin it, even though Donald Trump and some of his closest supporters will try to show that showcases as proof that he is being politically persecuted. Regardless of how they spin it, this picture will be in history books for years and decades to come. As you mentioned, it was a very quick turnaround in that Fulton County Jail. He was booked, had his fingerprints taken, the now famous mugshot also taken, and he was quickly out on his way back to New Jersey. What happens next is this is all in theory, because in theory, a defendant now has to go through an arraignment hearing. Technically, he has to be back here, where he now has to hear the charges again, plead guilty or not guilty. But there are rumblings that maybe this may be waived for the former president. And then, of course, a court hearing, or rather a trial date, has to be set. We are hearing that the local district attorney, Fani Willis, she wants to get this trial happening very, very soon. She has the ambition of starting it this October, but also Trump's lawyers are saying that it is way too early. They want several more months to prepare for this trial. But Donald Trump will have his court date to defend himself, as well as 18 other men and women, on very serious allegations, charges of trying to overturn the results of the 2020 election. You heard there Donald Trump saying that it was just challenging an election result, but it was far more than that if the indictment is to be believed, trying to thwart the Electoral College process, trying to create fake electors, and then pressuring then Vice President Mike Pence to count them instead of the actual real Georgia electors when they were counting all those electoral votes to decide who would be president back in January 2021. So very, very serious allegations. Again, the local district attorney calling the group of 19 men and women a criminal organization.
Now, it's one of those photos, coming back to that in colloquial terms is breaking the internet. And I'll be surprised if it's not on every single front page also. Donald Trump, though, has proved himself as an expert at twisting all of this publicity to his advantage.
You're absolutely right. I mean, we've seen this time and time again when he was president, even years before he became president. Anything that Donald Trump can, if he does not appreciate the fundamentals of what is happening to him, he has been very, very talented at twisting those things, as using those things to his advantage. And as I mentioned, we've seen that during his years as a businessman, during the presidential campaign, and of course, while he was president. And so, as I mentioned earlier, it is certain that Donald Trump and his supporters will see this mugshot, this humiliating event of him having to be booked in a county jail, which, by the way, is being investigated for civil rights issues. Just to mention, just last night, he did not take part in the Republican debate, the first Republican debate of the presidential election. He decided instead to air a pre-recorded interview by Tucker Carlson, 45-minute long interview where they really discussed, as old friends, many of Trump's favorite topics. Well, the Fox News debate, the Republican debate, started airing at 9 p.m. The video was aired at 8:55. Anything, once again, to upstage any of his competitors.